techniques through which you can simply start thinking in English. Very easy to follow. And you will be thinking in English because you are not giving your mind any other option rather than thinking in English. And isn't that amazing? Just here everyone, welcome back to my channel English with Desi Madam. My name is Rita and how are you doing, guys? I hope you all guys are doing absolutely fine. So welcome back to my another session of learning English, okay, and learning English speaking skill with me. Today I'm going to tell you something that is going to be very helpful for you to improve your English fluency. That is how to start thinking in English. I am going to tell you two easy methods through which you can start thinking in English. Now, thinking in English, thinking, that means thoughts, that means idea, are very important. Okay, if you really want to speak in English fluently, so it's very important to have a clear thought, clear idea in your mind. Okay, so yes, thinking in English, it's very important to have a thought in our mind. So yes, without any further delay, let's get into the topic. But before going to the video, I just want to say you, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, so please do subscribe my channel, because these things gives me boost to create more and more valuable content for you every day. So watch the video right till then, don't skip the video. Okay, so now coming back to today's lesson, how to start thinking in English. Now, thinking in English, it's very important for learning this skill. Is it possible to think in a particular language? Well, it depends on how much time to achieve that particular goal of fluency, how much you want to give your time. Yes, you can think in English, but for that you have to give your time. Think in English. You have to develop this habit consciously, thinking in English. And slowly and gradually it will become a habit and it will come to you automatically. Okay, but before you have to give your effort, you have to make this habit very consciously. Okay, so yeah, before that, you have a various technique, because I have told you so many techniques in my previous video how to start thinking English. If you haven't watched my previous video, then please go and check out my previous video how to start thinking English. Okay, and in this video I have two best techniques for you to start thinking English. So let's get the first technique. Technique number one is stop translation in your mind. You need to stop translation in your mind. Translation can get a lot of time. Okay, while you are learning a second language, so we can easily do translation in our native language. And yes, it's natural. Okay, for example, you might be from Germany, you might be from Japan, you might be from other countries. So you have your native language. I also have my native language. But when it comes to learn other language, secondary language, we generally start to do translation in our native language. Okay, and this thing will give you distraction. You are thinking in your native language all the thoughts and idea. After that you will translating into the other language that you want to learn, I mean to say English. So it will give you distraction. It will give you there is a gap between, if someone asking you a question, so you are just translating in your mind, and there is a gap, and this gap show your low confidence. Okay, so for this, if someone asks you a question in English, so it's very important to give your answer spontaneously without taking any pause, without sticking. Okay, and it will happen when you will make this English as a habit. And for make a habit, it's very important to do your conscious work to become a habit. For this, it's very important to start thinking in English directly, because if you start translating in your mind, so there is a gap, there is a big gap. Okay, so now if you don't, okay, this is a technique, stop translation in your mind. Now the question is that, ma'am, how do we stop translation in our mind? So if you haven't watched my previous video, stop how to stop translation in our minds, don't worry, I will give that videos link in this video's description box, so that you can easily check out how to stop translation in our mind. So there I have gave you 4 technique how to stop translation in our mind. But here I am going to give you only 2 technique. First thing is that how to stop translation in our mind. Okay. For this you have to check out my previous video. That video's description, that video's link lying in this video's description box. So you can check out. Now I'm going to let's move on second technique, that is very important, that is immerse yourself in English. Okay, so this is the second technique. First technique is that stop translation in your mind. Second technique is that immerse yourself in English. I mean to say, what is the meaning of immerse yourself? Okay, you are living in an area where your native language generally is spoken. Okay, you are living in a area or any place, or you are surrounded by the people, they generally speak in your native language. So how can you learn your language that you want to learn? I mean to say English. You cannot learn. So for this you have to make your surroundings in English, you have to immerse yourself in English. But how to do that? Because you are not surrounded by the English people, you are not surrounded by the English area, you are not surrounded by the any English thing. So how to immerse ourselves? So here I'm going to give you 3-4 technique for immerse yourself in English. And first technique is that, okay, you should identify all the things that is around you. You should identify all the objects name in English. This is the first technique. All the objects that is around you, you should identify all the objects name in English. This is the first thing. Now let's move on second thing. You should observe everything that is happening around you. Okay, happening around you. If you are going to market and you are seeing someone is walking, someone is buying something, and okay, some vendor are moving here and there. So yes, you should immerse yourself by thinking what is he is doing, what he is carrying. Okay, what this person is going to sell. Okay, so in this way you can start immerse yourself in English. Okay. Now first thing is that all the objects name you have to identify. All the objects name in English, you have to identify all the activities that is happening around you. Now you have some more thing, like if you have no atmosphere, you are not surrounded by the people who can easily speak in English. Okay, so don't worry, you have your Android phone, you have your YouTube, you have your so many things that you want to learn. You have YouTube, and you just want so any shows that is in English. I mean to say, I generally watch Big Bang Theory, and this is a long series. No, it's a wonderful source, and if you watch first time you are feeling, oh, it's very difficult. But if you watch again and again, I mean to say, after watching 3 or 5 times, you will identify, you will understand what he's saying in English, because their pronunciation is different, their intonation is different. But we have to just immerse ourselves in English. So that's why yes, web series, any web series that is in English, any shows that is in English, but all the series or all the topic that you want to watch should be according to your interest, so that you can easily give your maximum time. In this way you can easily immerse yourself in English while listening some content in English that is you have interest, by reading some textbook in English. Okay, if you have a interest to read any cartoon book, so yes, you can read any cartoon book, you can read any novel, you can read any fiction story, you can read whatever you want to read. But yes, reading will help you to give how to frame sentences in English, how to use these words in this sentence. Okay, so yes, listening will help you, reading will help you, and once you start listening and reading, then now your turn to give your output. You can give your output with the two aspects like writing and speaking. If you have some idea while watching any picture, while watching any action that is happening around you, if you are thinking some idea, some sentences in English, then write that sentences in English. So yes, this is your output, and yes, this is and that is what you want to learn. You want to enhance your speaking in English. So for this you have to idea. Okay, you have some idea in your mind. Once you have idea, once you have thoughts, once you have some thoughts in your mind, so that you can easily give your output. Because here is your thought, you just try to give your thoughts by speaking out. Okay, now but here some thoughts will come when you try to learn, when you try to listen some English content English, when you try to read some something in English, when you are consuming lot of content by listening, by reading. So here some thoughts and idea will automatically collect, and once here some thoughts and idea will collect, so you can easily give out your output while speaking. So yes, this is the technique that I wanted to share with you in this video. And yes, I hope you like my video. If you did so please give it a like, to share with your friends and family, and let me know in the comment box how did you like my video, because I love to read your comments. So friends, we will see you in the next video. Till then, Jai Siya Ram.